What's going on, guys? It's Isaac. Today I am sadly not working on the Biscayne. Parts are still not here. Kind of waiting on the parts to show up to get back on the Biscayne. I need the parts to keep going. So I pulled something out that really needs attention anyways. Would like to get this thing on the road and start possibly driving it. It's worth putting on the road. So it's my 5.0 Mustang. It needs a lot of work. The interior is in pretty bad shape, but I'm not worried about the interior right now. I've got to get this thing, I got to get it running. I don't think that popped the hood. Did it? Uh-oh. Gosh. Alright. Hope the hood comes up. Don't look like it. Oh yeah, hood's popped. Let's get the hood up and I'll show you what's going on. So what we have here is a replacement 302 block that was put in this car. It is not a roller rocker block. Someone put aftermarket lifters in this car. That's why there's these bars. They help keep the lifters turned in a certain direction because they're rollers. So here's what has been taken out of the car. You see there's a roller here, and I removed them the janky way because the only way you can get these out is removing the heads, or you bust the tops out of these lifters, and then you can remove them and you can put the stock lifters back in this engine. When I say stock, I mean I'm putting the roller lifters, like stock style roller lifters, in this block because this is a roller cam. I don't think this cam can handle flat tappets, although I should look. I know if you run flat tappets on a roller cam, it can eat the camshaft. I don't know. I don't want to risk it, so I'm going to be putting roller lifters back in this engine, but they're going to be the stock style, which is like a spider that goes in the intake valley, and you drill the block and bolt it up. That's how they get installed. The problem with these lifters that are the aftermarket lifters that are in this block is you can't remove them without removing the heads. So I have come up with a very janky way of removing them. What I do is I bust the tops off of these lifters, and it allows me to remove the lifters. And I'm planning on installing factory style lifters back in this engine block so I can put the intake back on and hopefully have a runner. I do, however, need to check this camshaft because I was told that maybe there's a wiped cam lobe. So if there is a wiped cam lobe, there's no point in me doing new lifters in it, because then, I mean, it's pointless. So I'm going to bust all those lifters, pull them out, and I'm going to get a flashlight and a mirror, and I'm going to look down every single hole and make sure that the camshaft is in a-okay shape. And then I'll put some new lifters in there, install the intake distributor, and hopefully I'll have a runner. Alright, got my safety glasses here. Got me a little hammer. Probably need a bigger hammer. We're going to find out. I'm going to set up the camera, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to, well, I guess I can hold it. So, mosquitoes. Let's see if I can bust these loose. Now, I don't recommend doing this. This is probably a bad idea, but for testing purposes, let's do it. There we go. Let's collect all the parts, and it's probably a good idea to put these lifters back together with these parts and make sure I got all the broken pieces. So here we go. Let's pull this out. Oh, look at that. It's out. Oh, goodness. Look. Looky, they're out without even pulling the head off. It's a stupid design. More force. Here we go. That's 1, 2. I mean, this isn't too hard. I definitely don't recommend doing this, but I mean, if it works, it works. It's not stupid if it works. It's a great t-shirt. See, the thing I'm worried about by doing this, I'm worried about damaging the hole that these came out of, which can cause premature failure on the new ones that I put in. So again, this is just an experiment. You know, this may be a trashed engine anyways. So I've got a engine, low mileage 302, sitting right over there in the shop ready to go in this car if this doesn't work. So, you know, I'd like for it to work. It'd probably save me a lot of time. A good sign is it's still smooth in just 2 pieces, not all over the place. So that is cool. Oh, I saw sparks. So all I've got left is one more. I've got to pull these rockers off, and I should be able to do that. Clean the garbage out of here. Install the lifters. So I've been rummaging? I think that's right. I've been running around the shop looking for the parts for this, to convert this non-roller block to a roller block. So what you need is these pieces. Of course, you need the push rods, which fortunately these push rods are exactly the right length. They're like stock. And you also need this piece right here. This piece, those H pieces go in first with the lifters, then this goes right there in place. I'm going to have to drill a hole in this valley and tap it so I can screw that piece down. It's going to be somewhere in that position right there. There are no, usually on the later blocks that aren't equipped with it, they have some bosses right there. This one does not have any bosses, so I'm gonna have to drill it and tap it, and I'm gonna have to stick a washer in between there to kind of elevate it just a little bit. I don't have all the pieces, so fortunately I have another engine in there. I can rob all the pieces I need for this engine, because the car didn't come with everything. It's missing a valve cover. It's missing a lot of things. So rockers, it's only got 2.5 cylinders worth of rockers. So I'm gonna have to come up with some rockers. So next thing I'm going to do on this car is turn the engine over using the alternator. Yep. And I'm going to stick my fingers down each hole until the camshaft lobe is all the way in the up position. And I'm going to just thoroughly inspect the cam lobe, make sure everything's okay. So now I'm pretty much ready to drop lifters in this engine and start putting this thing back together. But first things first, got to get the lifters. Well, I went to, O'Reilly's last night. It was weekend. My favorite parts store was not open. And, well, pretty much everyone around town didn't have the lifters for this car. They had to order them. Well, it's going to take several days. And there's going to be problems getting the lifters, and I'm going to be with the family having Thanksgiving and not able to work on the car. So I was looking for something like right now. Well, I waited until this morning, and I went to my favorite parts store in town, and they had them in stock. They had everything in stock that I needed. The gaskets for the intake manifold, valve covers. They had everything in stock for this car, and very reasonable prices. So, I mean, rather than order from, a fast, a big chain, I'd rather order from the mom and pop store. So, and it was faster, since they had them in stock. So, what I've got to do first is I've got to take these lifters, I got to put them in, submerge them in oil, let them kind of take some of that oil in. You don't want to put dry lifters into your engine. And while they're soaking down, I'm going to go to lunch, and I'll come back and I'll just kind of pump them up a little bit, try to get that air out of the lifters, and then I'm going to start assembly. maybe we'll maybe we'll hear this thing run today. That's if I can find everything, because this car did not come with, I didn't know it, but it didn't come with all the parts to the engine. It only came with one valve cover. I hadn't even found the lower intake plenum, which I've got one, fortunately for this car, because I bought a whole engine for a 90 Mustang GT, and fortunately it's got the intake and stuff on it, so whatever parts are missing I'm going to have, because I bought a whole spare engine and I'll just rob off of that. So yeah, anyhow, all right guys, let's get this get these lifters in the lid with some oil. So I'm very pleased at how this turned out. The holes that I drilled in the block for the little lifter tray thing lined up perfectly. And what I did was I took the bolt, which this is not the bolt, but let's say this is the bolt. I measured how deep this would screw in the block, and I drilled that much plus just a tiny bit more and tapped the block, added a couple of washers in between this tray and the block to kind of mimic the boss that is missing in this block for you know, some of these blocks had bosses for that tray. This one did not, but like I said, I'm happy with the way this turned out, and I put some blue Loctite to kind of help hold it in position. So everything is looking fantastic. I'm happy with it. I'm going to add the push rods and then the rocker arms. Rocker arms, once they're up there, then I can start putting the intake on. Oh, it's getting close. Let's keep this ball rolling, guys. Anyhow, man, I was doing so good with this Mustang.
Oh no.
Oh yes, I was doing so good, man. Let me tell you, I got the valve train in. I got the intake on,
Yeah.
and I was putting anti-seize on the bolts for the intake because one of them had already broken. And I was cleaning the bolts, and I turned around, and I was probably about 3 to 4 feet away from the engine, and a bolt slipped right out of my hand and went right down the distributor hole.
What?
Yeah.
Like, how'd you even do that?
I don't even know how I did that. I have superpowers, man.
Oh no. Can you still see it?
Oh no. I looked down in the hole with the flashlight and I don't see it. I was hoping it was on the camshaft or the crankshaft or something. No, it bypassed everything.
And it is now gone to this world.
So I'm gonna run to the store and get a magnet, and just hope that I can get it. Otherwise, I'm pulling the engine.
Or play it sketchy and put a whole bunch of big, strong magnets on the oil pan.
Is that the junkyard digs way?
If I had to, I mean, that's, we have to get home. Let's hope it doesn't fly away.
Oh,
was it a big bolt?
It was one of the intake bolts. Things like 2.5 inches long.
I'm trying to remember how the timing cover is inside to see if it can even make it all the way into the pan. I don't remember how tight of a fit that is.
No, it's behind the timing chain and everything. Like it's in the block. Like the bolt went right down the block.
Oh, that's right. They go through the block on the 302.
Yeah.
Let me think. 302, no. Images.
I thought I'd just
right there.
Call you up and let you know how my day was. I was gonna be cranking this thing up tonight, dude.
I'm trying to remember where that even.
It'll probably go right down to the front sump of the oil pan.
That or it doesn't, and it goes nowhere, and you might be okay. I can't remember.
Man, I was hoping. I mean, I was expecting to hear a clink, clank, clank. No, that thing just went shoop.
Nothing.
Yeah.
You threw that bitch from 4 feet away?
Yeah, it went right. My eyes were right on the engine, and I saw it go right down the distributor hole.
Oh man, what is the chance of that?
What are the odds?
Was it on camera at least?
Oh yes. Well, kind of.
Oh,
time lapse.
the real. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I'll have to. I don't know if I have any 302s sitting out at the shop where I can look at them. Well, you've got one right in front of you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, nothing else. If you can find a big magnet and put it on the pan and move it back and forth and see if you can find the bolt and hear it scraping, you'll know it's in the pan.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to.
I don't know.
I'm gonna try to find
a. Pan.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to find a magnet with one of those long bendy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and just kind of fish her down in there. I like the magnet idea on the pan because if I can hear it scrape, maybe I'm not on the ground, but aren't those drain bolts on those 302s pretty big?